All right, in this quick video, I'm going to show you how to switch from the built-in header that ships with Elementor for free when we use the Hello theme. And I'm going to give you a quick review of what that is, and then I'm going to show you how to switch to a custom header instead. So this is the built-in header and the built-in footer right here. The problem with the built-in header is that it doesn't have a lot of options. So I can't, for example, put a call to action button on the far right or anywhere in the top. I'm really limited to what the background looks like, what the logo looks like, what the navigation looks like. There's really not much else I can do, not for the free version. So we build a custom header instead, and then we can apply that to all of our pages. And in fact, the only reason why we see this header right now is if I go way down here to this little cog, this is the page settings, you can see under page layout, it says Elementor full width. Now it could have said default as well, but Elementor full width is a template that includes the header, full width content, and the footer. That's what we're seeing right now. This header that it's talking about is actually in a different area. If I go up to the hamburger at the top, kind of go back for a sec, I can go to the site settings, and then I can go to Hello Theme Header. Under Hello Theme Header, you'll see that this is where I set like the header, the logo or not, the menu or not, and that kind of stuff. And as I said, there's not really a lot of options we can do here. So what we need to do is we need to turn off the header. Now, unfortunately, turning off the header also turns this footer off, so I'll have to build a custom footer as well, but I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just gonna go exit out of the site settings just by clicking X, and that'll remove, it's gonna ask, would you like to save any changes? Well, we know we really didn't change anything, but that's fine. So we're back to here. So we need to turn all this off. It's as easy as actually going back down to the page settings, going up to page layout, and changing the layout from full width to canvas. As soon as I switch to canvas, you can see it's completely gone. I don't have a header, I don't have a footer, I just had what I had on the inside. Now adding a header is actually as simple as adding a new section. So I'm gonna hit this little add container button, and I'm gonna go ahead and click plus. We're gonna click Flexbox, and we'll just do a very simple layout. This one actually works really, really well because it has a section over here we can drop our logo, and it has a section over here where we can put our menu and our button. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that one. And now we have this. Now formatting this is just like we format any other section. So what I'd recommend is, editing this main container in here and changing, a few things. We could change the gap between things, that kind of stuff. But we can change our styling as well. So if we wanted to, for example, we could have a nice background color set or gradient, whatever it is. Let's make like a cool light blue color or something. Okay, and we could set all that up and do that. Now to add the logo, that's as simple as adding an image. So I'm gonna go back to my little waffle button here. Go ahead and grab image, drag that in. This will be my logo. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose my image. I've got my logo. Gonna select it. Now it's nice and big. It's really big, so I'm gonna bring it down in size. My image resolution right now is massive. This right now is displaying, probably around 400 pixels wide or less, and yet I'm using an image that's 1,000 pixels. So I'm gonna bring it way down to 300, and then I'm gonna go to style at the top and actually set a width. So we're gonna set a width in pixels. Probably set it around 200 or even 150. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now I'm just going to quick, this drives me nuts, so I'm going to just really quickly round the corners here. That looks pretty nice. And then I'm going to line it left. Perfect. Now I need to add my navigation on the right. So I can even, actually I could bring this down a little bit more, but that's fine. I'm going to add my navigation on the right. So we're going to go in here, and there's a navigation that I like to use, and it doesn't ship with Elementor for free, but it does ship with, you can see there's the Pro version here, it's locked. But there's called an Elements Kit nav menu right here. So I'm just going to drag that in. It uses a pre-built one here. You can see nothing is working just yet. So what I need to do is I need to click and select a menu. And change that to my primary. There you go. Now I see my nav. Horizontal menu position, we're going to go right. That'll move it to the right there. And then the rest of this is really styling. Like responsive breakpoint, it probably recommends switching this to mobile. So that's how small the page gets in width, when this should switch to a little hamburger menu instead. So menu mobile is a little bit better. And then of course we can go ahead, once we play with mobile, we can go ahead and do that. If I go up to style at the top, you'll see a few things. There's menu height. Right now the menu height's pretty tall, as you can see. So I can bring that down to something a little bit more sane. You can see it's not centered. That's okay. We can center it after. Remember, we can center it by centering the contents of its parent, right? Because the parent told the children where to go. This is the child of this container. So, and then again, it's all styling. As you can see in here, there's a few things. Menu wrapper background, so I can change the background of the whole menu wrapper. If I go into menu item style, this is where most of the work will be done. And there's 3 different types, so I can change my typography, change what the font looks like. But then menu item style this is what it looks like right now when it's the normal page. So you can see home and a contact is using that styling. The hover is when I hover. So you can see when I hover onto this, see what it does? It goes ahead and goes light gray like that. That's what this is. And then active is whatever the current page is. So I know I'm on the about page, so that's what the styling is here. So again, it's light gray. So if I change this, for example, to just show you quickly, change this to like some, wild bright color. There's the current page. Change this to like a completely different color. There's the hover, you can see when I hover onto these. Wow, that's terrible looking. We'll change it back. And this is the normal. So this is what, what the other ones would look like. As you can see, if I'm dragging this around, I'm changing what they look like. Awesome. After that, again, you can go ahead and you can change a background. So if you wanted to, you could actually have a background color on these and they would look different. And a border radius, kind of round them out, whatever. Then you can spread these, space them out between each other on the inside and on the outside. So there's lots of stuff you can do. Remember, you probably want to unlock them so we're not bringing padding at the top and the bottom. All right, something like this. So really, it's up to you. I'm going to reset all this because I like it just nice and plain. Just redo it. Oh, there we go. And just reset that. There we go. So I have a nice thing. So let's go ahead and center this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the parent container here. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to justify the content in the middle. Now you can see my logo is pretty big. So let's go back to my logo for just a second. And let's bring it on down to something, as I said, a little bit more sane. Probably around that 100 pixel or even 90 pixel mark is probably a little bit more sane as we build our header. So once you're done and you're happy with what your header is looking like, all you got to do is copy and paste it to your other pages. So the easiest way to do that is going up to here, making sure you click update, and then going up to here into this little dots, right? These 6 dots here, because you're selecting the entire thing, right clicking on it and going copy. What you might want to do as well is opening up your navigator and renaming it to navigation or menu or header, whatever you want to call it. But you don't have to. But again, as long as you go right click on this and go copy. Now, when I go switch to another page, let's go ahead and switch to our contact page. So we know that one's not set up. We have our our pre-built menu, our header and footer. So we want to get rid of those. Those are the ones that ship with Elementor free. So we want to go again back to page settings down here. And we're going to go page layout, set it to canvas. That'll get rid of them. And then now, in order to paste this in, it's not as simple as just right-clicking here, or right-clicking anywhere on the page. We actually need to create a little bit of a container to get started. So what I do is click plus first. And then inside this gray box, anywhere in here, you can just go ahead and right-click paste. So you don't want to do it inside something that already exists. You really want to go inside the dashed area. Otherwise, it will not work correctly. But if I go ahead and click paste now, it'll bring that header in exactly into the top. And now I have my header with all the styling. Keep in mind, if I update the styling on my header on this page, I'll have to update that for my other pages as well. But I can go ahead and click update now. And my contact page has been updated. And that's really all you have to do.